My name is Pauline and I give you consent to shoot this video. So I'm here to share my testimony. During a very tough season in my life, God showed up in so many ways, and I strongly believe that sometimes we have an expectation of how God is supposed to show up in our lives. And because we have that expectation, when those things don't happen, we turn to doubt the power that God has. And for me, that was what was happening because of the expectations that I had and the things that I wanted in the moment. So I was going through a really tough season in my life. I can't really say it's tough to everyone, but just to me, it was really a tough season. But I've seen how God works through so many people just to show you, and in His way, He shows you how He is God who shows up. For me, it has been the countless people that have shown up in my life through so many types of assistance. For example, the first testimony that I can say is that during this tough season of my life, a lady who is a friend to my mom, they were friends since childhood, and she stays far away. She's not in the UK, but she's in the US. But she reached out because God had put it upon her heart to do something for my life, and she did exactly that. And there have been multiple people who've been doing those kind of things to me, and a family just said, oh no, we'll be taking care of certain expenses for you for a certain period of time. I don't take that for granted because God did that. God showed up, and I was praying that, oh God, where will I find these resources? But these families, these people who are strangers, who are people I don't personally know, but they have been showing up. And one testimony that really stands out for me was what happened during Christmas season. My laptop, as a student, my laptop just shut down, and I needed to get a new one. I needed to get a new keyboard, and I couldn't get one because my finances at that point weren't really straight. But God once again came through. I had visited a family for the holidays, and they were shopping for replacement their son for TV. I can be able to subscribe to that. And I was just hoping that, oh, okay, if I can do this, then it will be able to, I'll be able to get the laptop in good time. But what happened was that this family, they looked at me, they were looking at me as I was looking at it, and then they asked me, oh, is that something that you're interested in? And they asked further, and they did that with the intention that they were gonna get me one, and I just didn't know. I remember when we got back home, the family mentioned it again, and then they sent me options. And I think in that moment, I wasn't thinking about it because I thought that, oh, maybe they're trying to help me find the plan. But to my surprise, on Christmas, they gifted me a brand new laptop. And these are strangers. These are people who I didn't really know that well. These are people who are more related to my parents than me, and it was my first encounter of them, but God used them in my life, and I'm just so grateful. And I wanted to share this testimony that God works in mysterious ways, and we need to trust Him more. We need to trust that His process is the best process, because if He does it in our way, we won't be able to acknowledge that God does things beautifully and at His own time. Because now, because of that family, because God came through them, I have a laptop that's functioning, and I have resources. These families keep pouring into my life, and I bless God for them, and I bless God for just strengthening me throughout this process. Thank you very much. That's the end of my testimony.